Does your vision for business match what you see happening on a daily basis? Welcome to Jim White's Circle of Success show, where Jim White brings it all together. For over 30 years, Jim White has worked with organizations and individuals worldwide to help develop and implement excellence. You'll get the inside story on how to create innovative leaders from one corner of your company to the other. Get everyone on your team contributing to the bottom line. Keep building revenue, even when the economy and your customers have flatlined, and more. Jim White's Circle of Success show covers it all, from communication to contract negotiation, from personal fulfillment to revving up cash flow. It's not about theories, it's about showing what works and how to make it work for you. And now, here's your host, Jim White.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jim White, and welcome to the show. We've got a fantastic show for you today. I have a special guest, and her name is Debbie Bermont. Debbie is, among all things, but a friend. She is the best-selling author of the book called Outrageous Business Growth. Debbie has over 25 years of experience in marketing, working with entrepreneurs, cutting costs, business development, and her latest creation is called 10 Mindset. Today we're going to spend the entire show dedicated to learning what 10 Mindset is. There are 6 components to the 10 Mindset, and we're going to drill down on each one of those. This is a perfect show to turn on the DVR. It's the perfect show to have a pen and pad handy, because we're going to give you some tools and strategies today that's absolutely going to help you change your personal and professional life. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be with Debbie Bermont. So we'll be back after this message.
This segment is brought to you by 12 O'Clock High Leadership and Management Summit. 12 O'Clock High is one of the undisputed best movie classics of all time. It is also one of the best business learning tools available. The movie rated #1 by top executives for its influence on their management styles. Now, the inspiration of the 12 O'Clock High Leadership and Management Summit, an innovative one-day event and 30-day follow-up where you will quickly see what's working and not working on the front lines of your company and in your own leadership style. Learn more at 12high.com. That's 12high.com.
Welcome back. We are joined by Miss Debbie Bermont. Debbie, welcome to the show.
Oh, I'm so delighted to be here, Jim. Thanks for asking.
We've been talking about this for many, many weeks, and I am so excited. Like I said, we're going to dedicate the entire hour talking about your new creation, 10 Mindset. So it sets the stage. What is 10 Mindset? And a lot of the listeners and the viewers at home and are saying, this sounds like Bo Derek and 10 Mindset. And I know you really enjoyed me saying that, right?
Okay.
So what is 10 Mindset? You created 10 Mindset. First, what is it? And there's 6 steps to achieving that, right?
Right.
So first, what is 10 Mindset?
Well, let me give you a little bit of background on how 10 Mindset came about. And so it'll be really evident to everybody what a 10 Mindset is. So for the last 17 years, I've been working with entrepreneurs all over the world and helping them grow their business. And in those conversations of talking to entrepreneurs one-on-one, they would share with me their fears, their struggles, and their challenges in growing their business. And I always start out the conversation by asking them 2 simple questions. The first question is, how much money do you want to make in the next 12 months? And the second question is, what is your level of confidence in the number between 1 and 10 that you're going to meet or exceed that goal? 10 being that you are 100% confident you're going to meet or exceed that goal. And something interesting really started to happen. in all these thousands of conversations I had, most people put down, they had their financial goal, and then they would put down their confidence number, and it usually was between a 6 and an 8. But there was some people that wrote down their confidence number was a 9, and there was a small group of people that wrote down they had a 10 mindset. And I can tell you that those people would create success faster than anybody else if they didn't have that number 10, that confidence level of 10.
What's the significance about that number 10? Is there any?
Well, it was actually just something that I created as an assessment, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
It was something that I noticed that when I said 10, people said, oh yeah, I am 100% confident, I'm a 10. And when they say that, they had confidence. And what was really significant about that is they would, if you took 2 people, start a business today, especially in today's challenging environment, right?
Right.
And one person had a mindset and they put their confidence number was a 7, let's say. But they had $100,000 to start their business. And you gave me somebody that had a 10 level of confidence in themselves and they had no money to start their business. I would bank on the person that had a 10 mindset more than I would that person that had $100,000 to start their business. Because their orientation of a person with a 10 mindset is completely different. They set their vision and their intention of what they want to create. Then they assume their own success before they even start creating their plan. And then the third thing is they take the right consistent action. Now, people who don't have a 10 mindset, who have a confidence level that's less than a 10, they don't do that. And what I noticed was that there are 6 principles that people with a 10 mindset adhere to, and they've mastered. And I can guarantee you that if you have a 10 mindset and you master all 6 of these principles, you will succeed in any goal you set for yourself.
Wow.
Guarantee it. I've seen this happen over and over and over again.
There's a lot of people sitting at home today. Some of them are unemployed. Some of them are got a small business, and we're coming into the holiday season. A lot of people are challenged with cash flow. So how would this 10 mindset help that person to say, I need a job? So the steps that they must take in order to start going down that path of becoming that 10 mindset. So what's the first step that they should consider?
Well, what I would say is, first of all, is to understand that anybody that's facing any type of struggle or challenge right now, it's going to boil down to they have a block, or I call it a block, in one or 6 of 6 key areas. It's going to be one or more of 6 key areas. And no matter what challenge you throw at me, and you know, when you say today's economy and in the recession, you know, how do I get things moving fast? The bottom line is there's 6 key areas. The first area is the area of space. How the space of time, the space, your emotional space, and your physical space. The second key area is what I call creating your vision from your highest potential. Most people that have a 10 mindset, they actually can tap in to create their vision from this big potential. Think Walt Disney. He had a really big vision, and everybody was a naysayer, said, oh, you can't create this, whatever, amusement park in the middle of swampland in Florida. But he was driven by that vision. So the word no was not in his vocabulary. And so it was a big vision. So people that have a 10 mindset live from that higher potential. The third thing is to have belief systems that are consistent with creating the success that you want. And most people get stuck by their fears. And we'll definitely address that later.
And we will. And I might add to, you know, for the audience, Debbie's laying out these 6 steps. And throughout the hour, we're going to come back, and my favorite word, you know me by now, we're going to drill down on that more.
Oh, absolutely.
To explain exactly what it is and what you must take in order to put those in place. But what I want to do early on in the show I know on your website you've got a wonderful ebook.
Right.
This may be a good opportunity maybe for the viewers at home to go ahead and go to that website and download that ebook, which is free.
Absolutely.
And maybe follow along. So what's that website?
The website is 10mindset.com. And the number
Go figure.
10, go figure, the number 10mindset.com. And the ebook is called How to Be a 10 Mindset. And it's going to go into detail everything I'm going to talk about today. But more importantly, there's an assessment in that ebook. So you want to know what number you are right now? Go download that ebook and you'll take that assessment and you'll know if you're a 10 or not.
In 10 Mindset, is that directed to any particular population, demographics, business person, entrepreneur? Is it for anyone?
It's for anybody. A 10 Mindset is really a perspective. It's a perspective. It's a level of 100% confidence in yourself that you're going to meet or exceed your goal. It could be a teenager who wants to ask somebody on a date. They need a 10 Mindset to think that they're going to be successful. The courage, exactly. You
remember that when you were asked on your first date? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Boy, it took a lot of courage, in order to come
it took
and
a lot
ask
of courage for the guy, right? And it could be somebody who wants to lose 25 pounds. So it's a lot easier for somebody that's a 10 mindset approaching losing weight than if they have, let's say, a mindset that's a 7 or a 6.
Right.
It has to do with making money. You want to set your financial goals. A 10 mindset is for anybody that wants 100% confidence they're going to meet or exceed their goal before they even start.
And have the end in mind.
Absolutely.
And that's part of these 6 steps. And this is what we want the viewers to really grasp today is you've got to have that confidence with the end in mind, and then you got to put this game plan in place, and you actually got to go do something to make it happen, but it's the mindset, right?
It is the mindset, but the really thing that I want to talk about, and I'll be going through this over the hour, is that it's more than just what's going on between your ears. A 10 mindset is not only having the success mindset, but it's also creating your external world up for success. And that's the last 3 principles. It's about creating your external world so that you're successful and it reduces all the risk before you even go out and try and meet your goal.
Yeah. We got to get a quick break in. And after this message, we're going to come back and we're going to drill down further on the first one, space a little bit more, if you will. So we're going to get this message in. You're watching KYMB-TV, Comcast Channel 19. We'll be right back after this message.
Are you looking for a clarity of purpose? Are you a recent college graduate, unemployed, an entrepreneur, or considering a career change? A business owner or employee struggling with performance issues? Launching soon, the worldwide phenomenon, What's My Purpose Life Mastery Course 2.0. What's My Purpose Life Mastery Course 2.0 can help you define your goals and vision. Start living your life on purpose. Living on purpose is all about joy. Living on purpose is about intention. Living on purpose is about personal transformation and continued growth. What's My Purpose Life Mastery Course 2.0 is a 12-week challenging course that helps you address finances, relationships, spiritual growth, physical and mental health. You'll reclaim your personal power and get your life on track to attain true success. What's My Purpose Life Mastery Course 2.0 launches soon. Learn more and register at whatsmypurpose.com/V2. That's whatsmypurpose.com/V2.
Thank you. We're back with Debbie Bermont. We're going to take a look at 2 of the 6 in this segment, right?
Right.
Okay. Of the 10 mindset, and you'd already given some preview, space. What do you mean by the space? That's one of the principles of achieving the 10 mindset, right?
Right.
So let's talk about space a little bit so our viewers can understand that. What do we mean about space?
Well, space actually is 3 components. It's the space of time, how you use and organize your time to be most effective and most efficient. It's your physical environment, your physical space. And I'll give a classic example. A lot of people who procrastinate or they feel overwhelmed, if you were to go in and take a look at your office, you'd probably see piles of papers stacked up on their desk. You might see that their client files are overflowing with paper. They've got too much clutter going on in their office. So physical space actually affects your well-being. And the last thing is your emotional space. Now think about this. What do we get bombarded with every day in the news? It's all fear-based media. That's what sells, right? Is news about war and crime and the economy and the stock market crashing. Do you know what that does to your emotional space? What it does is it triggers you into your fears. So if you have to master being in control of your own, what you want to take into your emotional space. So here's the things that I see, common signs I see of people that are struggling. In their emotional space, they feel frustrated, then they end up procrastinating. They're irritable. And what they're doing is that all they do is they focus on the challenges in front of you. Now, when a person is coming from a 10 mindset, what they do is they wipe out all that white noise. It's just white noise. And they don't pay attention to all the things that are happening in the media. They're focused on their vision. Can you imagine what happens, how single focused you can be by focusing on your vision and not listening to naysayers, not listening to people who tell you you can't do it? All they're looking for is opportunities to get them where they want.
I agree. I love that. But let me throw this in the mix.
Okay.
How about those people that love to be the victim?
Yes.
So, where do we want to go with that? And what do we say to those? Because there's a lot of people that's viewing the show today that enjoy that role. And my apologies, but we got to call it the way it is because it's true. We know this to be the case.
Right.
What we want to really share with you, you do not need to do that. You got to stop that. And by doing these things that you're laying out in these steps, will that get rid of the victim role?
Well, I definitely, and we'll talk about later about who you surround yourself and how it really affects, who you are. And when it comes to space, what you want to realize is that you want to protect your space in a way is respect it. Because what you want to do, in order to create success, you want to bring the best of yourself to the table. And in order to bring the best of yourself to the table, you have to decide who you want to surround yourself by, what you want to feed in your head, what you want to read in the newspaper, what you want to watch, and to feed yourself a daily diet of things that will empower you and motivate you. Now let's go back to that space of time for a second, because this is a big one. People, I notice, that create success quickly, that they value time as their most precious resource. You know this, Jim.
I know that.
Boy,
you've known me long enough to know
yes,
that
I do.
time is my most valuable resource.
It's your most valuable resource. And so people with a 10 mindset, they are very specific on how they spend their time, who they spend their time with, and the highest priorities. They place the highest priority on the activities that's going to get them where they want to go the fastest. And I will tell you that people that struggle in today's environment who don't have a 10 mindset, what they do is they sit around and exactly what you do, they mope. And they play the victim and they tell all the reasons why they can't move forward instead of creating and organizing their time in a way that allows them to be most efficient. So space is critical. It will affect every area of your life. Every area of your life. There is nothing you can tell me, any challenge you have, that it's not going to come back somehow to either affecting your emotional space, your physical space, or the space of time.
This space of time energy. I mean, we can spend 2 hours on that one alone.
Easily, yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we have about 2 minutes remaining in this segment. So the number 2 thing is what?
Is creating your vision from your highest potential.
Creating your vision from your highest potential. It's powerful words.
Powerful. Yeah, it's a powerful concept. Now, I'll tell you something. There's a big difference between somebody that has a 10 mindset. They create their vision based on what they want, and they actually see that vision in the future. They project themselves into the future, and they can actually feel how they've influenced the world, how it's changed their own life, and what it's going to do to the people around them. Now, people that don't have a 10 mindset, you know the way they approach setting their goal? They set their goal based on what they think maybe they could get.
Maybe.
Maybe. And if they feel it's too risky, they will pull back and they'll lessen their goal, or they'll set the goal, but they won't take the right action to achieve it. There's a huge difference between creating that vision from that highest potential. And I have to tell you, everybody has so much more potential than they're accessing. So much more. And what I love about people that have a 10 mindset is the word no or impossible is not in their dialogue. And I know that's the master. The word impossible is just not in your dialogue, is it?
Never considered it.
Never considered it.
How about the people that's had failure? Tried an event and said, I tried, I'm doing all this stuff, but yet I fell flat on my face and I've had failure, so I just give up.
Right. Well, if Colonel Sanders were alive today, we could bring Colonel Sanders to talk about how many times he failed to get his recipe out there. Was it thousands? I don't know the exact number.
Yeah.
Before he finally got a yes.
That was a great one. You know, another one that comes to mind, he jumped out at me immediately, was Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln. The story behind how many times he failed in his business and how many times he ran for Congress. So it's the same thing. You've got to be able to focus and take these tools and be able to put them in place.
Well, you know what's interesting, Jim, is that failure is just another, to a person with a 10 mindset, it's just a stepping stone.
Before you get deep into that, I want you to hold on to that thought, because you're on a roll and I don't want to break that up.
Yeah.
But we got to pay the bills here a little bit, so we got to get a message in, and we'll be right back after this message.
This segment is brought to you by Circle of Success, a dynamic, year-long intensive management and leadership development process designed to help individuals and organizations reach their goals quickly. A customized process addressing specific needs and identifying the critical opportunities particular to the individual and organization, with results measured in increased revenue, increased net profits, and increased equity. The Circle of Success, inspiring excellence in people. At jlwhiteinternational.com/circles.
Welcome back. Ms. Bermont, you've laid out 2 of the 6 steps. Space and highest potential.
Highest potential.
The 3rd step has to do and incorporates this dirty word fear we'll be talking about.
Right.
So the 3rd step of the journey to becoming a 10 mindset is what?
Is to have belief systems that are congruent with creating your own success. And fears are the thing that will stop you from moving forward with ease. Now, you know, I have a belief that you can build your business 2 ways, right? Or you can move forward achieving any goal 2 ways. The easy way or the hard way. And most people choose the hard way, although they wouldn't tell you they do it by choice. But
I know
that's
a lot of people that do, actually.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
I happen to believe that it could be so much easier. I've seen it happen. I've worked with a lot of people to create in a way that it can happen a lot faster. Now, in talking to people, and I remember in the last 17 years, I've talked to thousands of entrepreneurs. And there isn't a fear I haven't heard. And the common ones I hear about really what holds them back is fear of failure, fear of success, fear they can't pay their bills, fear that there's too much competition in the marketplace, fear that they're not going to get paid for the value of what they're worth. Over and over and over again, I hear this. And so those fears will stop you from actually moving forward. So you might set your intention, but you certainly don't think you're going to be successful, and you don't take the right action. So I'm going to give you, I'm going to give all the viewers a great tip that can help you right now. If you're stuck in fear in anything, in any place in your life right now, I want you to know that you right now have an inner 10. You have an inner 10 mindset in you right now. And I'm going to show you how to access that. There's some place in your life right now, there's something that you do that's very easy for you. Very simple. I don't know what it is. It could be gardening. It could be that you're a really good problem solver. It could be that you know how to fix software really quickly. It doesn't matter what it is. I want you to think right now of something that's really, really easy for you. And it might be difficult for other people, but for you it's easy. And I want you to think about what it feels like when you're about to embark upon whatever it is that's easy for you. How does it feel in your body? Because people that are confident, they hold themselves differently. Yeah. They stand differently, they talk differently. So I want you to get in that 10 mindset frame right now, and then I want you to listen in your head, because I guarantee there's a dialogue in what I call your inner coach. And that inner coach says something, it's very empowering language, and you have your own inner coach language. It'll say something, it'll be something like this. Oh, that's easy. No sweat. I can do that. Oh, I can do that and move forward right away. And you have that kind of knowing. I know, Jim, you must have some inner coach dialogue that goes on in your head. It's like, I can take that.
Got a lot of it going on right now. As I'm listening to you share all these wonderful insights, and I think the viewers can see from my body language, I'm just beaming with pride, and just hearing you share these tools is kind of like proud father. But so the tools, and what I love about your creation, and like I said, we've known each other for some time, and you have a lot of great products. I haven't seen another product that I think is any more opportune for today's environment than this 10 mindset. I think it's going to change people's personal and professional life if you will just accept, take the steps, and start working it, and let go of this fear.
Right.
Let go of this fear.
Right.
And you couldn't be, and you know, through my What's My Purpose, that's a big mask that we have, through my book and the course. And we're coming at it from the same way. You got to let go of that fear. Right. So it's great. So what else? I know I threw you off there a little bit. Not my intent to do that. So what else in this third thing on the journey of becoming a 10 mindset?
Well, once you create the belief systems that are congruent with creating your own success, and we could spend 3 hours just on that. Yeah, we have on moving past your fears. And by the way, it can shift like that. I've worked with so many people and helped them literally shift their fears. It can literally shift like that when you know how.
That is so important to reinforce. And for our viewers to understand, your energy and your mindset, it can change like that.
Like that, right. And the biggest thing that a lot of people have a fear, and this is why everybody that teaches personal growth is going to be in business forever, right? Because everybody wants to know how to move past their fears, how to succeed more. And so they take all of these classes on how to move past their fears. And it's a lot of good information out there in the marketplace. There's no doubt about it. But the biggest thing is that a lot of people, they have fear that they're not going to be safe. They're going to recreate and experience past pain. That was where that fear got started to begin with. And I've worked with so many people over the years, and I can tell you that that's not true. You can shift a fear quickly and easily and painlessly. And I've done it over and over and over again with the people that I've worked with.
I see this, and I've seen it for over 40 years that I've been in this game, and we cannot say enough about this fear-based aspect.
Right.
I mean, it just goes. So, the other component of the number 3, belief systems, adopting a belief system congruent with achieving your goals.
Right.
So, anything other than that, other than fear in that one, or should we move on to the next one?
Well, I could say one last thing about that, and we'll get into principle number 4, which is when you say adopting a belief system that's congruent with achieving your goal, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to take the goal, write down right now the goal that you want to achieve. And then I want you to ask yourself this question. What kind of belief system would a person need? Put yourself in third person.
Yeah.
What kind of belief system would a person need that would help them achieve that goal quickly? And I think you'll get your answer.
Love it.
You'll get your answer, and it'll be very clear if you've got those belief systems or not.
Yeah.
Now, here, one of the things that I had mentioned earlier is about that there a lot of personal growth books out there to
Right.
show you how to move past your fears. There's
Yep.
a lot of seminars. There's a
Yep.
lot of audio programs. You can Google and download a lot of information online. And what's interesting that I see happen over and over again is people attend a seminar, and it's a great seminar, and they come out of that seminar and they are just psyched, and they are ready to move forward, and they're full of energy, and they want to, and they're all ready to achieve their goal. They're supercharged up, and then what happens is a month later, they get triggered right back into a fear space.
Absolutely.
They go right back to where they were, and they can't figure because they're not in that safe little bubble that got them all hyped up and all cheered up and supported. And so the fourth principle that I really want to make sure that I mention is that you have to have the habits that reinforce the success you want to create.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is a lot of people, they leave these programs after they got all psyched and charged up, and they go right back to their bad habits. You know what this is like? This is like somebody who goes on a diet and is very, very focused, and they lose a bunch of weight, and then they resort back to their old eating habits. And the next thing you know, they're gaining the weight right back all over again. So people do this in business a lot. They don't create the habits that support the success that they want to create.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, and I think that's a great analogy, and that's one of the reasons the health and fitness industry is so big.
Right.
Because people are going through the same old thing over and over. Diet, eat, sugar, diet, eat, and you got to have and develop good habits.
That's right.
In order to keep the weight off.
That's right.
And that requires making a decision and making choices.
Right.
And that's where you're going, I believe, when you're talking about the habits for as a entrepreneur, or if you're sitting at home and you're saying, my life is not, what's it all about? I should say, what's it all about?
Right.
I'm not happy. And there's a lot of those questions I know that people are asking themselves as they're watching the program today. I'm not happy. What's it all about? If they would just make a decision. What's Napoleon Hill said one time? Reason people fail because they do not pick a direction and stick to it, right?
Right.
So, and that's one thing we're talking about. So we got to get into another break.
Okay.
And we're going to come back and talk about number 4 a little bit more. And we got 2 more, so we're going to continue to give some great tools here. So you're watching KYMB-TV, Comcast Channel 19. We'll be back after this message.
Business is constantly changing. The challenges of the 21st century have never been greater. There is competition in every field, and technology is more fluid than ever. Bold, innovative thinking is needed. Organizations and individuals are looking for leadership, opportunity, and a way to grow. That way is finally here.
I love teaching. I love sharing. I love sharing from the heart, connecting when I call it the heart to the head.
Hundreds of companies and thousands of people have been inspired by one man.
Even from nothing you can accomplish if you have the will, if you have the perseverance, if you will work hard on setting goals and achieving those goals and holding yourself accountable to each and every one of those goals.
Jim White has dedicated his life to inspiring excellence in people.
A+. The man was knowledgeable. He had lived everything he talked about. He was extremely sincere. He was succinct, and he was inspirational.
He's given me some thought and some ideas on how to reset my goals and how to restructure my life.
A hugely successful businessman himself, Jim decided years ago to share his knowledge. Over the past 30 years, Jim White has mentored everyone from Fortune 500 CEOs to small business owners. He has helped numerous companies and individuals achieve their financial and personal goals. His circle of success is a blueprint for excellence and achievement.
I got the strong feeling that Mr. White was speaking from a huge amount of experience built up over the decades, which I think adds a lot of dimension to this kind of a seminar.
Wants to make you get up and do something tomorrow about changing your life.
J.L. White International is a management consulting and leadership development organization. Through workshops and one-to-one training, Jim and his staff have inspired audiences all over the country and have been able to achieve remarkable results by focusing on human capital and designing customized solutions to increase revenue and productivity. J.L. White International is guaranteed to inspire excellence. Isn't it time you discovered what true excellence in business is really like?
We're back with Debbie Bermont. We have 2 more principles to cover, and we need 2 or 3 more hours, but you'll have to come back on another show.
I can't wait. I'm delighted to.
So let's talk about adopting 10 mindset and surrounding yourself with a community of people who have a 10 mindset. I'm taking this right off of your copy.
Yeah. Well, we tend to surround ourselves, of course, by friends and family members that we communicate with on a daily or weekly or maybe even monthly basis. And there's going to be 3 types of people in your community. There's going to be people who are judgmental and critical of you. They're not going to support you in what you're doing. There's going to be people in your community who really are supportive of you and they really want to encourage you, but they're still struggling themselves. They haven't created the success that they want in their life. And there's going to be a third group of people, and those people have already created success in their life in the area that you are wanting to create success in, and they're going to be supportive and encouraging of you. Most people have friends and family members and business associates of the first group, the first 2 groups, and not the third. They surround themselves by either people who are, judgmental or critical, or they're the ones that say, oh, Jim, you don't want to start a business now. It's a bad economy. This is a bad time to start a business. And they'll give you all the reasons why you shouldn't do it because they think they're helping you. They think they're being supportive. Or you'll have people that will empathize with you. Remember that victim story you told me about? Well, they've got their victim story, and they want to, share with you and empathize and go, I know it is bad out there. It is rough out there, right? Now think about this.
I've got to, sorry, you're on such a flow, but I've got to get this. I remember 1980, when I was buying my first company, interest rates was 22%.
Oh, my gosh.
Right? And I was putting this business plan together, and I was sharing with some enthusiasm with all of my friends and family, and they looked at me like I had 3 heads, and you were going to fail, right? That's what you're talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
And I know that.
Now, the greatest thing about you, Jim, is you have a 10 mindset. So you're in your head probably thinking, doesn't matter, like I'm moving forward. You don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about, right? You believed in your plan.
Yeah, and I think that's important to reinforce of the 10 mindset. My thinking was this: wow, I have an open plate here, a blank canvas.
Right.
So if people are afraid to step out, I can go out, and I saw this as a competitive advantage.
Right, there's more opportunity for you
More
because nobody else
opportunity for me
is
because
trying to
nobody
do
else
it.
wanted to take it on.
That's right, right. So it's critical that you surround yourself by the right community. I mean, think of how much easier it would be if everybody in your community actually supported what you were doing and helping you move forward. But here's the key. You want to surround yourself by a group of people who have already created success in whatever area it is that you're focusing on. So whether that's your health or it's finances or making money or business or even looking for a job, you want to talk to people who have successfully landed a job and their interviewing techniques. It doesn't matter what it is that you're trying to accomplish. You want to hang out with people who have already created success in that area, not people who are struggling as you are in whatever area it is that you're moving forward in.
Well,
so your community is critical.
Community is critical, and I go immediately to the scene. You're sitting on a bar stool and you're getting all this advice from somebody that's failed 10,000 times, and so you're going to surround yourself with that failure, and who you surround yourself is what you become.
Right, right.
So surround yourself. And that goes to developing those confidants too, right? Mentors.
Yeah, mentors. And the greatest thing about having mentors is not only are they motivating,
right,
but they share their learning curve with you.
Right.
I mean, you want to fast track to getting a result.
Right.
Talk to somebody who's already succeeded, and they'll tell you how many times they failed and the lessons that they learned and what they did to get through it. And they'll, cut your learning curve substantially so that you can achieve that goal faster than they created. And that's the best thing about hanging around with other people that have a 10 mindset.
And that's great advice. And also know that people with a 10 mindset has developed a certain level of success, whatever you define that to be for yourself,
right,
financial, others. They're happy to share. This is one thing that most entrepreneurs do not understand.
Right.
Pick up the phone and say, I've been following you and I'd like to pick your brain. Does that work?
Absolutely it works. And I'll give you the line that works every time. Can you help me?
Can you help me?
Write that down. Can you help me? Everybody wants to help somebody else.
Right.
So they won't feel like you're, hanging on them or tugging on them, or all you're asking for is a little bit of help, a little bit of advice. And you're right. People that are successful, they want to share the wealth. They want to share their knowledge. It's a sign of respect. They really appreciate it. And what they most appreciate is they appreciate action takers. Right, Jim? Like if you are going to give your advice to somebody, you want to know that they acted upon it and that you want to hear what the result was and how it worked. And if the result wasn't exactly what the person anticipated, then you'll give them advice on how to do it better. The world, it's an open book, and you can find people that will support your success. And you're right, it might not even be somebody that you know yet. It could be somebody that you can find them in social media. You can, this is the world is so much smaller today. You
right,
can connect with so many more people.
Right. And you should do that. That is a great strategy. And it's also liberating, and I think so many things that we can offer the viewers. But this one, do not let the fear get in the way. Surround yourself with those like-minded 10 mindset people.
Right, right.
And reach out for advice.
Right, right.
But what I find that's holding people back is fear and ego. So where does ego play in this 10 mindset journey?
Ego in the...
Ego that I know it all, I'm smart, but I'm still broke.
Well, and most people in today's day, they're pretty vulnerable. They don't usually say, I know it all. If they're broke, they're pretty desperate. They're pretty desperate. But what they are, though, is they might be standing behind bravado because they don't want anybody else to know.
Right.
They don't want anybody else to know that they're struggling. And I will tell you, so that's the perfect reason why I really want you to know about principle number 6, which is you have to create your own hand-picked success team. Mm-hmm. Now think about it. On a football team, They have the offense and they have the defense, and you have an offensive coach, right? You have a defensive coach. You have a special teams coach. You have strength conditioning coaches.
Right.
You have, I mean, each football player has so much, they have their own little team of people so that they can succeed on the field with the larger team. You need to handpick your own team. And when you talked about, you know, people that are vulnerable, they don't want to share with anybody that they're struggling. On your team, you want to have some very specific people. One of them is, I call your unconditional love partner. And that person is when you're having a rotten day and things seem to be falling apart, you can call them up and they go, it's okay, you're still going to make it. You're still going to do it. The second person I want you to have on your success team is I want you to have somebody that's an activities partner. Because I'll tell you something, when fun goes out the window, all bets are off. When people stop having fun, they stop reaching for their goals. They lose their passion, they lose their creativity. Right. So you want to make sure you have some fun in your life. The next two people that I want you to have on your success team are so critical, and they'll add zeros to your bank account. The first one is a connector, somebody who loves to connect you with all the right people. And the fourth one is a resourceful person. Now, there's some people that they love Googling, they love researching, they love finding things fast. I have a whole Rolodex of those people because that's not me. I want to have access to those people so they can do the work, right? But they love it. They love doing that. So there's some key people, and then the last one is that role model person that you were talking about, a mentor, somebody who's been there, done that, knows the ropes. Now, you don't have to pay any of these people. These people you can get from your community, you can get through referrals, you can get through networking. This is not a group of people that you have to pay, but it's a group of people that are personally invested in you succeeding.
Networking is a big deal. And like so, we got to get another quick break in. When we come back from the break, let's talk about that networking a little bit more. That's a big deal. So, we'll be back with Debbie Bermont right after this message. You're watching KYMB-TV, Comcast Channel 19.
This segment is brought to you by 12 O'Clock High Leadership and Management Summit. 12 O'Clock High is one of the undisputed best movie classics of all time. It is also one of the best business learning tools available. The movie rated #1 by top executives for its influence on their management styles. Now, the inspiration of the 12 O'Clock High Leadership and Management Summit, an innovative one-day event and 30-day follow-up where you will quickly see what's working and not working on the front lines of your company and in your own leadership style. Learn more at 12high.com. That's 12high.com.
We're back with Debbie Bermont. Boy, the time flies.
It certainly has.
Right? Flies. Once again, before I forget it, the ebook, which is about 32, 33 pages, right?
Right.
How do they get it again?
Go to 10mindset.com, the number 10mindset.com, and it's free, and you can download it, and it will give you a lot more strategies than I had time to answer today.
Well, we're going to carve out a few more minutes to answer some more. Before the break, I mean, all this great stuff that you're giving, and what I want the viewers to really understand, this is not theory. It works.
Yes.
These strategies, they work. It's up to you to decide if you want to use them, right? It's a choice. So, that's a big deal. I hear a lot of people, as you were talking about the mentoring advice, and I do that for a lot of people. And I had an old client to call me last week and asked me, we was talking how you doing and catching up, and I said, didn't we talk about this 7 years ago? So you didn't do it, right? Mm-hmm. No, something happened, life got in the way. Well, I guess what? You got to make a choice. And the decision is to decide what that quality of life is that you want for yourself and be able to accept the tools, the great stuff that you're teaching in order to move in that journey. So, networking a little bit, not a whole lot that we want to say about that other than the fact that there's a lot of networking opportunities right in your back door.
Right.
Chambers and Rotaries and all of those people. Be known, develop a brand.
Right.
Is that fair enough?
Yeah, that's fair enough. Absolutely. I mean, there's so many opportunities of places that you don't even have to, leave home to do. You can through social networking. But if you're going to be face to face, keep in mind that you are also looking for people that have a 10 mindset, and you can weed them out by clearly asking them about the results that they're experiencing right now, what's working for them, what's not working for them, how are they moving forward, and the people that start complaining to you and sharing with you how bad everything is,
Run.
Probably not a good person for you to have in your community. So when you're out there networking, be selective and look for the people that have high energy, that are go-getters, that are action takers, that love to partner, to create opportunities. The greatest thing about a person with a 10 mindset, they don't sit around and let things happen. They create opportunities, and that's all they're looking for is opportunities, and they expect them to unfold. They just naturally expect opportunities to just be generated, and they're part of that process.
Let's recap the 6 steps again, kind of pull it all together. So, number one?
Number one is to have the space, right? The number one is space, the space of time, the space, your emotional space, and your physical space. Number 2 is to create your vision from your highest potential.
I want to talk about, and that's what I was waiting to get there all about, but the highest potential. And for a lot of folks, you may not understand what that is, but when you say create it from your highest potential, what are you communicating to our audience?
All right, I'm gonna give you a really a good example. What I want you to do is I want you to go to a building that has a penthouse. So maybe it's got a restaurant at the top floor. So go to a building that's like 40 stories high, and go to the 40th story, and I want you to look out, and you're gonna see the whole horizon. That is analogous to your highest potential. You have perspective. Okay. You have expansion. You have the space to create this big vision. Most people operate as if they're standing on the ground floor looking up at that 40-story building, the top, and all they can see is buildings to the right and buildings to the left, and they can see a little bit down the road in front of them. So they have a very limited view of what's possible to achieve. But when you're up there at the top on the 40th floor and you're looking out and there's all these windows all around you, so you can see this vast horizon, and you're seeing mountains, or you're seeing ocean, or you're seeing the desert, whatever you're seeing, you have a much bigger perspective. That's your highest potential. Great
visual. I'm a visual person. As you were doing it, I was just visualizing that image.
Yeah.
And it's a great one. So, number 3?
Number 3 is to have belief systems that are congruent with creating the success that you want.
Number 4?
Number 4 is to have 10 mindset habits. So those are habits, the good habits, that are going to move you forward to achieving your goals.
Number 5?
Number 5 is to create the community of people that also have a 10 mindset, people that are action takers, people that have already achieved the kind of success that you're looking for, and most importantly, people that want to support you in creating the success that you desire.
Boy, I love them all, as you know, but that one is a big deal.
That one is a big deal.
Surround yourself, and as you run into those folks and you say, how you doing? And if they respond, boy, man, it's a bad day, don't make them one of your support team members, right?
Well, if they're complaining about all the reasons why they can't create what it is that they desire in their life, yeah, they're not looking for opportunities. They're not being, moving forward from their vision. So you want to stay focused on your vision. And people, when you share your vision with other successful people, they will buy into it. I mean, other people with 10 mindsets, they love other people with big visions. They love hearing about it. They want to know about it, and they'll instantly kick in before you even ask them. They'll try and offer their assistance and help. And then the last principle is to make sure you create your own success team. Your own team that is ready-made, hand-selected to make sure that you don't fall flat on your face, and if you do, that you're going to get right back up and you're going to dust yourself off and you're going to keep moving forward and create that kind of success that you desire.
Love it, love it. You also have a book that you wrote some years back. Fantastic book, Outrageous Business Growth.
Right.
Where can they get that book?
They can go to, they can either go to the website outrageousbusinessgrowth.com if you'd like, or you can get it in Amazon.
So with that book and the new 10 Mindset program,
right,
you've got a pretty full treasure chest of stuff, right?
Yeah, I would say that if you are stuck in any area of your life, it's going to boil down to one or more of those 6 principles. I mean, there is nothing that you can't achieve once you master those 6 principles. I've worked with people, a lot of people over the years in a variety of industries all over the world. Having a 10 mindset has nothing to do with your age, your income, your geographic location, how many years in business you've been, your expertise. It has nothing to do with it. It has to do with how you feel inside, your level of confidence you're going to meet or exceed your goals, and externally how you set your world up around you so that you can't fail.
You know, this may or may not be appropriate, but I cannot allow the opportunity to pass without saying maybe we can send the 10 mindset to the super committee and Congress.
Wouldn't that be great?
What a concept, right? If they'd read that a little bit before they all got together and did the polarization, man, what a mess. But that's another show.
That's another show, right?
Another show. Do you teach? I mean, how do you go about with this 10 mindset? You got the ebook. Do you do coaching, consulting, or how can people, if they want to, say, take a class from you, how do they go about doing that?
I actually teach a 10-week class that takes you step by step through each one of these principles so you can identify literally where you're blocked in any one of these 6 areas. I will tell you exactly what it means to be a 10 mindset and how to master each one of those areas, and then I will give you specific strategies. So the beauty about the program is you walk away with a completely customized plan to get you from where you are now to where you want to be with a lot less stress, a lot less struggle, and you feel what's most important about the people that have gone through this program, they walk away feeling so empowered. Like they begin to realize, because I show you how to access the 10 mindset inside of you right now. It's not something you have to go find. Everybody already is pre-wired to be a 10. And you just have to make some modifications about changing some, maybe your community and accessing your team. But I tell you literally how to do that. And I've had amazing results with the people who have gone through this program. Amazing results.
Is this online? How do you teach this?
I teach this through a webcast. So I have students all over the world. So you can access the class, and it's recorded and you get it live. But what's most important is I believe in the potential of every single person. I have worked with a lot of people over the years, and I know how powerful people are if they would just tap into that 10 inside of them. And once they do, it's amazing.
The hour has flown by. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
What a pleasure. Yeah. And one last time, 10mindset.com is where you can get the free book. And Debbie, you can come back anytime.
Thank you. I can't wait.
It's always a pleasure. So this is Jim White thanking you for viewing today, and you're watching KYMB-TV, Comcast Channel 19. We'll see you next week.
This has been Jim White's Circle of Success Show. Please visit our website, jlwcos.tv. Join us next time as Jim White brings it all together. on Jim White's Circle of Success.